Well, as many of you know, I had very, very, very low expectations heading into Hell in a Cell 2014. In fact, I went on record and said that, frankly, there was only one match that I gave a crap about, and I knew deep down inside that I wasn't the only one that felt that way. I could have skipped the rest of this pay-per-view just to get to Ambrose versus Seth Rollins inside of Hell in a Cell. That was my philosophy. That was the way that I was viewing this show heading into Sunday night. And Lord knows that, in my opinion, I ended up being validated in that, but that doesn't even tell the full story. You know, something's amiss with the WWE and something's askew when the commentators are basically openly mocking people for paying $55 to get the event on pay-per-view when they could pay $9.99 to get it on the WWE network. I'm sorry, but even if you are a dyed-in-the-wool WWE sheep, how do you defend that? I mean, that's the mentality of this company right now. What other business in the world do you know of that would mock its own customers for paying 5 times more plus than they should have? It'd be one thing if you were mocking people or making fun of people for paying more for the same service with a different company. But we're talking about mocking your own customers for paying more for the service that you're providing. When you get to that point where you are intentionally undercutting yourself just to push an agenda, in this case, the WWE Network, something is seriously screwed up in the priority house. I'm sorry. And looking at this show, I stand firm in my belief that the priorities of this company are all screwed up. Whereas you would think in the wrestling business you would use television largely to set up to the pay-per-view, and that you would try to give away as little on television as possible to give as much bang for that buck on the pay-per-view as possible, WWE seems to consistently now almost use the pay-per-views to set up television, and if that's not the case, give you basically what you've already gotten on television perhaps several times, and oftentimes what you get on pay-per-view isn't even the best version compared to what you've already gotten on television. It's completely askew. The priorities are totally fucked up. That's the way I look at it. I mean, you look at it. IC title match, Cesaro with Ziggler. Why is this 2 out of 3 falls? There was no reason for this. Even more so, you had Dolph Ziggler win both falls. Why not just have him have one good match instead of basically 2 average matches? And Ding Dong Dub Dick, stop chanting "this is awesome" for average matches that you've seen on television before. That is contributing to the fucking problem. Stop excusing this shit. It's not okay. Expect better. Demand better. Cesaro most certainly deserves better than this shit, and frankly, so does Dolph Ziggler, and I don't even like the guy's work that much. They deserve better than this. This is no different than the shit they give you on TV. In fact, they might have had a better match on TV in the past week than what we got in the damn pay-per-view. How stupid is this? The shit that you get for free on cable television is, and then that's not even saying much because that shit isn't even very good, is still better than what you're getting on the event that you're being expected to pay money for. But of course, we're going to make fun of you if you pay the full pay-per-view price for it. As a company, why would you want somebody to pay $55 if they're still doing it when they could just pay $9.99 for it? I mean, oh my God. Priorities, Vincent, priorities. Look at Brie Mode versus the fucking Bionic Boobies. This match was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. A lot better than it probably had any business being. Several problems with it, though. Number one, I sure as hell didn't give a shit about this match heading into it. Number two, I sure as hell didn't give a shit about the 2 performers in this match. Number three, I most certainly have not given a shit at all about the storyline at any point in time. And number four, perhaps most significantly of all, tying into everything else, I most especially did not give 2 flying fucks about the payoff stipulation to this match. It's just a problem. It's typical of the product in so many ways. The tag title match. You've seen the Usos and the Dust Twins touch so many times. Now they get here to a pay-per-view, and they give you an average-ass match that feels like something you've seen on Raw that you've probably seen better in the form of a six-man tag. Can we not do better things? Can we not find better ways to keep things fresh and not run them into the ground so goddamn much on television to where it gets to the point where we're asking people to pay money to watch the special shows on the WWE Network that we've already seen it several times, and a lot of times the shit we see on the pay-per-view isn't matching up to what's seen on the free TV? I mean, and let's not forget about the Breakfast Club brawl. John Cena versus Randy Orton inside Hell in a Cell. Well, at least I'll say this. The WWE did the right thing and didn't have this match main event. And they probably did it just from a standpoint of they knew what was going to happen if that was to take place, and would have been pretty. So credit to them for at least recognizing that they might have wanted to go there, but that they were wrong. So they did the right thing. Unfortunately, the right thing would have been to never book this match in the fucking first place. You would think as many times as John Cena and Randy Orton have wrestled each other over the years that they would finally figure out how to put on a great match. Of course, they fucking fall flat, as they so often do. The only thing more ridiculous than this lame-ass Hell in a Cell match was the lame-ass, ridiculous multi-minute video package where the WWE tries to hype up the John Cena-Randy Orton rivalry like it's one of the all-time greats. They compared it with rivalries like Ali Frazier and Magic versus Bird and freaking Peyton Manning versus Tom Brady and Austin versus McMahon and a bunch of fucking bullshit. This rivalry has been so great in your eyes, WWE, that you've never even bothered having this be a one-on-one singles match at WrestleMania. The Miz has wrestled John Cena at WrestleMania in a one-on-one match more times than Randy Orton has. Bray Wyatt has wrestled John Cena at WrestleMania more times than Randy Orton has. This company is so stupid. This company is so screwed up that even their big-time feud that they try to lie to you all the time and tell you is the biggest thing since sliced bread and one of the all-time epic rivalries, they can't even be smart enough to figure out how to get it one time where they wrestle one-on-one at WrestleMania. And what's even more ridiculous about this is that for Cena and Orton, their rivalry over the years is nowhere near even close to the best rivalry that either one has had. I'd much rather see John Cena versus Edge in a feud, John Cena and CM Punk in a feud. Give me John Cena versus The Rock any fucking day over John Cena versus Randy Orton. And from Orton's standpoint, take his shit with Foley in 04 all day, Taker in 05 all freaking day, Triple H in 2009 all fucking day. This is not the best feud in either one's career. Not even close. Not even in the top three, as I just clearly fucking established. How in the fuck can this be one of the top rivalries of all time? And to top it all off, these assholes, this isn't even the first time they've wrestled in a Hell in a Cell. Only John Cena and Randy Orton could find a way, one-on-one, with no bullshit, no interference, no other shticks, to take a Hell in a Cell match and make it fucking boring. And that's exactly what they did. The ridiculous overuse of finishers and just the slow pace of it. It's like these guys were going through the motions. It was like they didn't care. They're like, oh, the fans aren't going to get into it anyway, so why fucking bother? No, fuck you both. You're supposed to be the top two guys in the company. You've been pounded in that spot for how many fucking years? You're supposed to be professionals. How about you fucking act like it? What a pathetic disgrace of a performance. And I'm sorry, anybody that defends this shit is a fool. F-O-O-L. Fool, motherfucker. It's ridiculous. I mean, how many times do you have to try it before you finally get it right? And these two stupid Breakfast Club fucks still can't put on a great epic encounter. After all these years and all this time and all these matches. Holy Christ. And to the idiots that actually thought that Randy Orton was going to beat John Cena here, the fuck planet were you living on? What's even more entertaining is the thought that they might be getting ready for Cena to take that belt off of Lesnar. Cena always gets his in the end, and especially if the WWE is firmly behind Reigns being that guy at WrestleMania to win the title, they might not want to send Reigns at Lesnar for the belt because now Lesnar went from being a special attraction to being no attraction because he's not there ever, to when he does come back, he'll be the wrong type of attraction. You basically had this guy end the streak to enter into a months-long program off and on with John Cena And then maybe at WrestleMania he wrestles Reigns, but I put money on at this point him wrestling Batista. That was worth ending the streak over. Just dumb on so many different levels. Just, this company is so fucking stupid. At least I got some entertainment, actually quite a bit of entertainment out of Damian Sandow and his performance in the U.S. title match between Sheamus and The Miz. Wrong guy won. Imagine that. But goddamn, Damian Sandow's been money. One of those few redeeming qualities the WWE product has. Hopefully, they'll keep this going with him and The Miz, and eventually this will lead to a split between the two of them, and they'll get a one-on-one match at WrestleMania where Sandow goes over, and he starts a nice babyface run. How about that? Rusev versus Big Show was about what you would expect. It was really odd that they so blatantly telegraphed a Henry heel turn only to not do it, and basically Rusev had to overcome damn near 2-to-1 odds at the end. That was just weird. The Divas Championship. I feel really bad for Paige and AJ Lee, because if there were ever going to be two divas in that company now that could actually legitimately have a Hell in a Cell match and maybe make it work, it's these two. Two talented ladies, two ladies that can go in the ring. So the WWE has decided the best way to accentuate that is to make their characters both boring as fucking piss, make their storyline as boring as fucking piss, and it's carried over to their match at a pay-per-view like this, which was boring as fucking piss. It's the truth. But ultimately, I could have put up with all the other crap, or just overlooked it and not cared. Because, like I said, heading into the show, this was a one-match show for me. This was all about Dean Ambrose versus Seth Rollins inside a Hell in a Cell. To me, the match that had to main event, the match that needed to main event, the match that deserved to and should have main evented. And the WWE made the right decision, and I applaud them for that. And I was expecting this to be a real showcase, because not every day is it that two guys under the age of 30, two younger guys like this, main event a WWE pay-per-view. There are very few times in history of the company that I could think of this ever happening. You might have one guy that's 26 or 28 and the other guy's 30, but two guys both under the age of 30 main eventing a WWE pay-per-view. Again, it doesn't happen every day. In fact, I believe it's rarely ever happened. Rarely. I think Taker Yoko might be one instance I can think of. I'm sure there's a couple more, but Taker Yoko might be one instance I can think of. So this is a big deal to me. At a time where the WWE desperately needs to create new stars, they need some new fresh life. They need some spice. They need new captivating characters. Well, here you've got what has been the feud of the year, Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins. It's so many things on the surface going into this. We're just setting up the table for this to be a real defining moment in the careers of both individuals, perhaps a turning point for the company in the positive, at least in the short term. This was going to be so many things. A match of the year candidate, that match that really stood out. 5 years from now, you look back and you say, this is when Dean Ambrose became a megastar, and this is where Seth Rollins started to become a megastar. You're looking at this and you're like, the styles of these two guys in the ring really makes for a good contrast, and therefore will really make a Hell in a Cell match go. The storyline is there. The history between the characters is there. The timing is right. The situation is right. Just so many things are fucking right. You can't possibly screw it up. Just let these two guys go out there 25, 30 minutes, balls to the fucking walls as it should be, and let them tear the fucking house down and send the people home happy. But of course, the WWE just couldn't do that. It was like the WWE said, here, you go do it. This is your shot, your opportunity, but we're going to help you. And in the typical fashion of a domineering, overbearing parent, their help ended up becoming a hindrance and a burden, and ended up totally fucking shit up. Dean Ambrose versus Seth Rollins. It's like the creative team, or maybe Vince McMahon, got on the WWE network, which I wonder if they have to pay $9.99 a month for, and sat there and watched Undertaker, Mankind at King of the Ring 98, and decided that's how we're going to book the first 15 minutes of this shit, but do it in a half-ass, lame-ass, PG rip-off way. And what I didn't understand is, why the hell are you sending out the Cruiserweight division and Noble and Mercury? Why are they getting involved here? This needs to be about Ambrose and Rollins. I don't give a damn if this guy's supposed to be a bad guy. I don't care if this guy's supposed to be a good guy. These two guys are supposed to hate fucking each other. Why does anybody else need to be involved? Ambrose should be up on their cage, top of the cage, just like he was. Seth Rollins should see that and said, know what? fuck you. Either you come down here or I'm coming up there. Either way, this shit ends tonight. And it's nothing but balls to the walls, insane action. Instead, you get the two fucking midgets in goddamn suits climbing up the top of the Hell in a Cell. Then we take several minutes to really get to the damn point. And then we have Ambrose and Rollins take a pretty weak-ass table spot, or table drop, bump, whatever the fuck you want to call it, halfway down the Hell in a Cell. It looked like McMahon taking a bump from Austin off the cage at St. Valentine's Day Massacre 99. Only not as effective. And then what made it even worse, knowing that both of these guys in the WWE have taken worse bumps than the ones they've just received, let's have these asshats sit there and oversell it for several minutes, put them on stretchers, and try and wheel them out like the match is fucking over. What a joke. What a rip. I don't know maybe what I was expecting, but I sure the fuck wasn't expecting this. So after we finally get the match in the ring, we finally get going, and Rollins and Ambrose are trying to persevere over the stupid bullshit that is WWE's booking of this match, the structuring of this match. The agent in charge of this match should be immediately fired, or at least at the very worst, stripped of their powers. Then somebody decides, let's throw out the heat sucker Kane. The heat sucker, why? Because now at this point in time in his career, Kane sucks the heat out of anything and everything that could potentially be considered good and or entertaining with the fucking product. Why is he out there spraying a fire extinguisher? What is the fucking point of that? Does this match need it? No, it fucking doesn't. Just let these two guys fucking wrestle. And then we transcend past that. And Ambrose and Rollins, damn it all, they try their best. And the crowd is into it. The crowd is anticipating a big, awesome finish that could still send them home happy in spite of all this other stupid bullshit. And then the lights go out. There's some fucking hologram. You hear somebody talking in fucking tongues like, I'm the Voldemort of WWE. And then here comes fucking Bray Wyatt. Looking all creepy, takes out Ambrose, Seth Rollins wins, and the crowd shits on it. This was not the boo heel heat reaction WWE. Ding dong, dumb dicks. This was the fuck this company and this bullshit heat. This is the how fucking dare you screw up the one good thing you fucking had going heading into this damn show. How can you screw the pooch on this? How could you not understand that the people wanted a full-on, balls-to-the-walls, one-on-one match, Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, cut the bullshit out? And just as people are finally starting to think they're going to get a payoff to what has been your feud of the year in your damn company, with so many compelling things going on, and Dean Ambrose in particular is coming out of this looking like $1 million, you've decided, fuck you, we're just going to launch right into this bullshit. Now, of course, some fans are excited because they think Bray Wyatt, Dean Ambrose, crazy versus crazy, great promos versus great promos. How could the WWE screw this up? How they do with Bray Wyatt and John Cena? How they do with Bray Wyatt and Chris Jericho? When there's a will, they'll use the WWE way to fuck shit up. You best believe that. And just like with so many other things on this pay-per-view, the IC title match, the tag title match, the US title match, frankly, Rusev versus Big Show, Divas Championship, it all felt like shit that was from a Raw, or felt like shit you've seen before on Raw that was better. This pay-per-view ending was like the cheapest, most blatant bullshit bum-ass ripoff of Bad Blood 97 you could possibly imagine. I'm sure it was visually stunning, and it was a surprise. But again, if I dropped my pants right now and took a shit on camera, that's a surprise, but that doesn't mean it's a good fucking surprise. It's just a surprise. One thing the WWE couldn't possibly screw up, and they still found a way to fucking screw it up. This was a chance for either Rollins to get a signature victory or Dean Ambrose to make sure that Seth Rollins got his comeuppance and everybody celebrates and it doesn't hurt any fucking buddy. This would be like in freaking Rocky 2. Rocky's about to get his second chance at Apollo Creed. He's just about to knock him out. And here comes Clubber Lang fucking making moves on Adrian. He did that in Rocky 3. But he didn't do it in the middle of the fight, but the rematch between Rocky and Apollo Creed at Rocky 2. And then let's say Clubber Lang kicks Rocky's ass. Rocky comes back. He's about to knock him out in the middle of the fight. And here comes Ivan Drago, and he fucking kills Apollo Creed and says if he dies, he dies. What the fuck is that bullshit? That's the reaction I had. I just sat there and looked. And I said, what the fuck is this bullshit? Great. Bray Wyatt, Dean Ambrose. Okay. What have they done lately with Wyatt that's frankly been any fucking good from a feud standpoint? And if they couldn't sit there and even be bothered to give us a legit, clean, real, validating, satisfying payoff to Ambrose and Rollins, what in the bluest of blue fucks makes you think it'll be any different with Dean Ambrose and Bray Wyatt? This fucking company, man. Even when you have one thing to do, you are tasked with not screwing up one fucking thing, and you still find a way to screw the pooch. Should be giving people refunds for this shit. But instead, you'll just mock your other paying customers that paid $55 for something that they could have paid $10 for. Who the fuck does that? That's the level of business intelligence in the WWE today, and it reflects in their fucking product. Let's use our pay-per-views to set up TV. Is this the WWE or is this fucking TNA? What a bunch of bullshit.